Welcome into the Jerome McGinley Arena in St. Albert, Alberta, where the St. Albert Crude will host the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels in Tier 1 Junior B lacrosse action. The Rebels come in at 4-1, second place in the North, while the Crude enter in at 3-3, sitting third in the North division of the RMLL. And the rivalry will be renewed between two teams that are quite familiar with one another, having played in the playoffs the last couple of seasons, meeting famously in the 2019 final, North Final, where the Rebels ultimately prevailed over the Crude 2-1. Keys to the game here for the Crude will be clean transition, getting the ball up the floor, and getting some production outside of their guns, Fodchuk and Knowlton. And on the Rebels side, you're going to have to look to try and shut down Fodchuk, make the Crude have to play with one hand behind their back, and at the same time generate enough offense in transition to supplement your 5-on-5. And here we go. Here's Eastwood off on the right side. That ball gets swung over to Baker. Baker looks, surveys. He dumps the ball back down to Peterson. Peterson swings it. That's over on the right side. Shots taken, and that's handled pretty easily by Peck, and the ball will be sent back up over center. And here's Wedman, who will wait for the Crude offense to hit the floor. And here's Schaff. He'll swing the ball up top. Knowlton look inside to Wedman. That doesn't connect, and the ball will bounce into the corner. And Schaff will battle for that. And the ball is still loose, and it's picked up by the Rebels. That's number 34, Matthew Vetch, who will create a up over center and wait for his mates to come out the O gate, and the Rebels will set up on O. Here's Peterson. The vet will get it over the right side. McCallion dances around his defender. He gets it back up to Eastwood. Eastwood looks. He'll swing it back over to Peterson. The captain will get checked there. The ball will get swung back over to McCallion. McCallion takes a shot, and that ball gets stopped again by Peck, and the ball will be picked up by Simonson, and he'll gather it up on the left side. And Simonson gets a seal set. He swings it over to Eastwood. Eastwood takes a sidearm shot. That's handled by Peck. The ball bounce over to the boards. And the ball will be picked back up by Eastwood. He'll get a reset, and the Rebels will set back up on offense. Here's Eastwood. Eastwood over to Peterson. Peterson hesitates. He gets a pick set by Eastwood. The ball gets swung over to McCallion. McCallion to Baker. He shoots, and that ball is stopped by Peck. Ball gets picked back up by Eastwood. The righty has it again. You'll see Eastwood with the ball a lot for the Rebels here. He controls the ball really good on loose balls. That shot sent by Peterson well wide. The ball dribbles down the floor. Will get picked up and sent back up to Peterson, who sends it down to Baker. Baker out of the far left corner. Eastwood gets sent down, and there's going to be a delayed call here. The Rebels are going to go to the power play. And it looks like Crude captain McBride will get sent off. Maybe a cross check. We'll see what the actual call is here. High stick. McBride will serve 2 for high sticking, and the Rebels power play will go to work here. Baker, the leading scorer for the Rebels, will set up top. Jackson sits with 21 points on the season. 10 goals, 11 assists. He has it up top and gets it over to McCallion. That ball gets swung over to Simonson. Back to McCallion. He shoots. Good stop. That ball gets propelled up into the mesh, and it'll remain with the Rebels. Here's Simonson on the left shooter, up top to Baker. Baker gets it over. That's Reed Lowe with the shot off the right shooter. The ball's loose. It's going to be a loose ball interference call on the Rebs, and the Crude will get the ball here, and the ball will get sent up to Fry. Oh, delay a game call here on the Rebels. McCallion. And we'll go to 4-on-4 here for the next minute 30. 0-0. We set 17:04 to go in the first period. And here's the big lefty, Kerr. Kerr tries to swing that over to Knowlton. That doesn't connect. The ball go over to the boards where Regan Walker picks it up momentarily. He loses it. That ball gets battled for in the corner. The Rebels will eventually, looks like they're going to get it, but now the ball's loose again. And they ultimately get it, and that Scrimshaw will pick the ball up and send it up. And the Rebels will try to connect on a breakaway pass. That does not work out, and that will be picked up by Lopez for the Crude. Lopez works his way up over the blue line. Bit of a grab there, doesn't get called. And the ball gets sent back to Fry, and Fry isn't able to grab that, and the ball will go back to Peck, and he'll flip it back to Fry, and the Crude will have about 10 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Fry, the righty comes up over center. He swings it over to Fodchuk. He takes a sub shot. That goes off of the Rebels netminder and will be picked up by the Rebels, and they'll set back up on the 4-on-4. Here's Eastwood. Eastwood down low to Reed Low. Reed Low goes underneath his defender, and Peck will handle that again. Some nice solid stops by Peck here early on, keeping the Crude in this one early. And here's James Leung. He'll send that up, try to get it up to Knowlton. Knowlton toe drags his way. Oh, a big hit along the near boards on Schaff. That was Albrecht who laid the boom on Schaff. Schaff did not know that Albrecht was there, and he timed that perfectly. The ball gets sent over to Fodchuk on a broken play off a loose ball, and the Crude leading scorer capitalizes, and it's 1-0 for the Crude. No surprise there that Fodchuk gets the goal for the Crude. 53% of the goal scoring for the Crude has come from Fodchuk or Knowlton, and 67%, that number goes to 67% when you add in Drader. So 3 guys really accumulating for almost all of the Crude offense this season. Here's Baker on the left side. Baker he almost draws a double there, and now the double does come, and he rolls off that in behind the net. He tries to get that ball back up to McCallion, and that goes into the Crude bench, and it'll be Crude ball. And the Crude will start back up on offense. Here's Knowlton. He sets up on the right side. Pick comes from Schaff. Ball gets sent up to Kerr. Kerr rolls into his defender. Double team comes, and the ball will go into the corner. He'll try to collect it back up. He isn't able to, and the Rebels will gather the ball, and the ball will get sent back up. And here's the Rebels trying to push in transition. That's the Ben Renault, who will dish off to Simonson. Simonson will get it to Longmire. Longmire will get it over to Eastwood. Eastwood up top. He'll get it onto the half wall for Reed Low. Reed Low looks. Nobody there. He takes a shot. That goes off of Peck up into the mesh, and it'll be Rebels ball. Here's McCallion. McCallion to Longmire. Longmire looks, gets back over to McCallion. That ball gets sent over to the half wall. Eastwood swings it over to Simonson. He gets the pick set. He shoots that, and he floats that into Peck, and Peck will handle that easily. And the Crude will send the ball back up floor, and here's Fry. Fry for the Crude. He hops down the wall. He gets it over to Wedman. Wedman looks. He swings it over to Fodchuk. Fodchuk pulls it down the wall. He looks inside. That ball goes errantly off of a Rebels defender. It looks like a Rebels stick. Well, they originally call it that way, but now they say Rebels ball. And here's Scrimshaw. Scrimshaw, the assistant captain, waits, looking to dish off. A little bit of pressure there by Wedman. He gets it over to Baker. Baker on the half wall here on the left side. That pick gets set. Baker swings it over. That ball gets a little dish inside off of a cut from the lefty. Dylan Puck, he's unable to convert there, and the ball will get picked back up by Peterson. The captain sends that over to Eastwood. And here's Baker on the left side. Comes up top. He tries to flip inside the puck. That does not connect. And the ball will bounce into the corner and it'll be battled for. They're going to call interference on the Rebels. It'll be Crude ball. 12:45 here to go in the first period. The Crude hold a 1-0 lead despite being outshot 9-2 to this point in the game. Strong play from Peck here early on. Here's Fodchuk. Fodchuk down into the left side. He hits a cutting Walker who dips inside and fakes far, comes back short on a little bit of a twister, and it's 2-0 Crude. Despite only having 3 shots in the game, they're up 2-0. There's that much-needed offense from other sources as Walker gets on the board, and the Crude are able to take a 2-0 lead here with 12:20 to go in the first period. Peterson on the left wall gets it up top to Eastwood. He tries to send it into Baker. He does, and that ball goes wide. They're gonna say it goes off the roof here, and it's gonna be Crude ball. Here's Nolsky. He'll wait for Crude players to hit the floor, and here's Fodchuk. Fodchuk will send the ball into the corner. They're going to call too many men on the Crude, and because it's on offense, it'll only be a change of possession, and here the Rebels will start out with the ball. Here's Simonson up high. Simonson swings it over to McCallion. McCallion gets the ball down low, and that ball gets swung over to a backdoor cut off of the left side. That's Simonson. He gets stopped by Peck, who again makes a nice solid save, and the Rebels will regather. Eastwood down low on the right side. He sends it inside, and that's Puck trying to convert on the quick stick. That goes wide off the backside of the net, and the Crude will gather the ball. Here's Slobnik. He will get the ball up top to Knowlton, who will wait for the pick. Wedman sets that. Nothing's there. Knowlton will peel back out. He tries to fire that far side down low to Kerr. That's well out of his reach, and the Rebels will gather and head up the floor. Here's Albrecht. He'll get it to Baker on the left side. Baker gets it up top to McCallion. McCallion waits. He gets that over to Lowe. Lowe will dip down underneath. He gets it. He swings out over to Simonson. That goes wide. The ball will be sent back down to McCallion. Tough angle shot there. That's handled easily by Peck. McCallion gets his rebound and isn't able to score on the second opportunity, and it'll be Crude ball. Here's Fry. The speedster will nice flip pass back up to Schaff, and he rips that short side high. And that's a 3-0 lead for the Crude here early on in St. Albert. 3 goals on 4 shots. Will a pull be coming from the Rebels bench? I don't know, but it's definitely an option here early on. The Crude have been getting down early in games, now find themselves up 3-0 despite being outshot 11-4. Here's Albrecht off the draw. He sends it down to Peterson, who will tuck down. He goes underneath on his defender. He'll pull out to Simonson. Simonson swings it over to McCallion. The assistant captain comes inside, and he's not able to go far side inside the bar there. That goes wide, and Peterson has the ball. Peterson, that's a bit of a rough take. That goes wide. Ball bounces down the floor. And that ball gets sent into the rafters, and it'll be Crude ball here with 9:50 to go in the first period. Here's Knowlton up across center. Knowlton, Crude's second leading scorer, gets the ball over to Wedman, who swings it over to Fodchuk. Fodchuk. He gets the ball over to on a backdoor cut to Walker, and that's stopped. Much needed stop there for the Rebs. And here's Albrecht trying to push for a 2-on-1. He engages his defender and he shoots, and that's swallowed by Peck. And the Crude will start back up the floor here. Here's Knowlton. Come across center here. Crude will control. Knowlton down the right side. Up top to Wedman off the bench. He throws that into Lukoweski's stick, and that will get sent promptly into the ceiling, and it'll be Crude ball again. Here is Liang, who wasn't ready for that pass back from Fodchuk. And the ball will get picked up by the Rebels, sent up to Vetch, and Vetch will wait for the offense to hit the floor, and he'll flip to Puck. Puck on the left side. Gets the ball up top to Simonson. Simonson goes to Lowe. Lowe shoots. That's handled by Peck. And here's Lopez. Will come back up the near boards here. Get the ball over to Kerr, and the Crude offense will start back up. Here's Kerr. He gets it up top to Knowlton. Knowlton gets a pick set. Doesn't shoot. Waits. There's Kerr inside. He hesitates and then shoots that into the mesh behind Lukoweski, and just not the right type of mesh, and that's going to be Rebels ball. Here is Peterson on the left side. He gets it up high to Puck. Puck swings it over to McCallion on the half wall. He gets it low to Eastwood. Eastwood comes up high. McCallion sets a little bit of a pick. He gets the ball momentarily inside. Back up top to Eastwood. Eastwood sends that into the midsection of Peck, and Peck will flip that up to Anderson, and Anderson will come up the near boards. He'll circle back, a little bit of a fake. He sends it down low to Knowlton. It ends up with Knowlton on the right side. Here's Fodchuk. Fodchuk down underneath. Takes a severe angle shot. That gets handled by Lukoweski. Fodchuk gets his own loose ball here off the shot. He sends it back up to Schaff. Schaff rolls off his defender. He gets it up to Knowlton. Knowlton bullies his way through the middle. Tries it behind the back. That does not quite reach net. And the ball will get picked up by Vetch. A little bit of a fly swap by Knowlton. And the Rebels will start back up the floor. Here's Peterson. Peterson up top to Peck. Peck tries to get it over to Lowe. That's mishandled, and then McCallion will pick up the loose ball and send it over to Baker. Baker rolls off his check, throws an errant pass over to McCallion. That's off glass, and the Crude will go back up top, and Fry will collect. Loose ball by Fry. Fry gets over center, and he'll get it over to the right side. That's Walker. Walker comes up top. He shoots. They say that goes off of Lukoweski, and the ball will get picked back up by Kerr with the reset. Kerr over to Walker. Walker hits Wedman. Wedman tucks inside, tries to go low underneath his defender. He rolls back up, and the ball gets sent back up to Fry. Fry, Kerr. Kerr gets his pick set there. He shoots. And that ball's easily handled by Lukoweski, and the ball will come back up floor. Here's Longmire, the speedster for the Rebels. Come back up over center. He'll get it to Simonson. Simonson, the lefty shooter, will get the ball up top to Lowe. Lowe gets to Eastwood, back over to Simonson. He tucks underneath. He tries to flip inside to Puck. That doesn't connect, and now Slobnik will come down, try to run through his defender. Too many manuals is going to be called, as the Rebels were far too early out the gate there. And it'll be a 5-on-4 here for the Crude as they lead 3-0. 5:31 to go here in the first period. Really a lot of hustle there to the box there by the Rebels. Could have been a delay of game, to be honest. And the Crude will set up on the power play. Here's Leung down low on the left crease. Here's Fodchuk. He rips up from up top. That's handled by Lukoweski. The ball goes into the crease, and he'll send it up floor. Here's Longmire. He's got speed. He's going to go in on a breakaway. And a big save by Peck. Just going to be a delayed call here. Looks like they're going to call it looks like there's a glancing blow off of the head. Be slashing call or a high stick on Knowlton on the trace back. So we'll go to 4-on-4 here, 3-0 Crude, 5:10 to go here in the first period. It'll be Baker up top here. He directs traffic. He wants a pick set, I think, here from Peterson. And there's a swing pass from Peterson, or from Baker, down to Low. That goes shooter to crease. That skip pass down low on the crease on the right side, and it's 3-1. 5 minutes to go, first period. That defender just didn't push up high enough, and Lowe was able to just set his feet and get that ball, release it quickly. That backdoor pass, and he made no mistakes. 3-1 Crude. Here's Peterson. He rushes a shot. That goes well wide, and the Crude will gather the ball back up over center. Peterson presses. That's Blake, who will roll off his check, and the ball will go loose. And Vetch will pick that up and head back over center. He's going to take and score. Decided to take on 2 Crude defenders there. That's one Peck will want to have back. Broken play. The Crude defenders looked like they relaxed a little bit, and Vetch was able to walk into the middle of the floor and convert. And the Crude lead is now down to 1. We sit 3-2 here with 4:31 to go in the first period. Here's the draw. Simonson will pick that up. And he'll send that over to Albrecht. And Albrecht will get that loose ball and send over to McCallion. McCallion, half wall to Peterson. Peterson waits. He swings that over to Low. Nice little pick and roll there. Doesn't connect with McCallion. McCallion will go over and get that loose ball. He goes underneath his defender, back up top into the middle, and Peck will save that with his stick as McCallion tries to go 5-hole, and then Peck will send that up. Somehow doesn't hit the ceiling, and Fry will gather that up and head back over center. Ironic that I say Fry as I smell McDonald's here somewhere in the Ainsdale Arena right now. Don't know where that's coming from. Shot taken. And that's handled easily by Lukoweski. And now Lewis will come up over center. He navigates traffic. He sends that back up, and the Rebels will now settle here with Baker gathering. And the Rebels' leading scorer will head up over center. Baker, he tries to skip that down to the right crease. Doesn't connect with Lowe. Lowe will easily go get that loose ball. He takes a shot with a shot clock winding down. And now Knowlton will head up on a breakaway. Knowlton tries to go short side high on Lukoweski. Lukoweski does a good job of standing tall. And now their ball will get sent back up over to Leung, and that ball will get stopped. Loose ball comes back up high. Leung will end up getting that. Here's Fodchuk. A little bit of a fadeaway shot. That's handled by Lukoweski, and the ball will be regained by the Rebs. Here's Peterson. Peterson has the ball on the left side. Pick set. He swings it over to McCallion. McCallion down low. Ball comes back up to Eastwood. Eastwood over to Peterson. Peterson. Peck did not see that shot as it hit his arm, short side. The ball will go in behind the net, and Leung will gather. That's James Leung will gather the ball. I'll flip that over to McBride. McBride will get that over to Schaff. Gets the ball over to Walker. Walker has a pick set there by Schaff. Rolls back up. Knowlton with the ball up high on the right side. He takes a shot. That's soaked by Renault. And then the ball will be picked up by the Rebels as they head up over center. And that's Hackett with the ball. He tries to eventually get that over to Renault, who will flip up high to Simonson. Sorry, Albrecht. That was Albrecht, 17. Eventually, Simonson gets the ball, and he gets it up to Baker. who sends it over to McCallion. McCallion down low. Ends up over on the left side with Simonson. Simonson up high. McCallion. He gets it low to low, spins back. He works his way to the shooter. He gets it up top to Baker. He shoots, that goes wide, and the shot clock will expire. And here's Searson. He tries to hit Fry up the floor. And he'll circle back and await his teammates as the Crude offense hits the floor. Here's Walker. He gets the ball over to the right side. He operates off the half wall. Wedman doesn't end up getting the pick set, but he gets the ball thrown to him. The ball will end up getting turned over, and the Rebels will slow up here and get the offense up onto the floor with 40 seconds here to go in the first period. Likely their last possession here of the period. Here's puck over to Simonson. The first-year junior gets it over to McCallion. McCallion, the vet, tries to go inside to Eastwood off of a little bit of a pick. And then the Crude, as you'd expect, take a timeout with 23 seconds left to go in the first period, playing for last possession. 3-2, we sit here. Crude lead the Rebels. 23.9 seconds to go in the first period.
Timeout by Crude.
Because the timeout was called while the Crude had possession in their own end, they'll have to start with the ball just outside their crease here. And you'll see them wait here till about 7-8 seconds left on the clock, and then they'll run something. Look for a backdoor play here. Ten seconds, and they're going to start up here. Gets disrupted. The ball ends up inside and is picked up by Leung, Simon Leung. And he shoots a sub shot, sidearm, sort of back against the grain inside the post, and it's 4-2. Rough goal for the Rebels to give up. Obviously, with the amount of time on the clock, and just given this the nature of that play, it was broken. There really wasn't anything going on, and nobody really rallied to the ball, and the Crude were able to just go and sort of jog into the middle, pick it up, and score. It'll be interesting to see how the Rebels pick back up off of that. Rough goal to give up here in the dying seconds of the first, and with that, we go into the first intermission as they run the final seconds off the clock. It'll be Rebels 4, or Crude 4, Rebels 2. Shots 20-14 for the Crude, or for the Rebels, as we head in to the first intermission. We'll be back with you in about 10 minutes' time here from the Jerome McGinley Arena in St. Albert. All right, we welcome you back in here in this the Joe McGinley Arena in St. Albert. We're just going to let you know we're going to be delayed at least a few minutes here. There was an incident in the adjacent arena, the Connects Arena, with an injured player. I'm not going to get into details or anything like that, just to let you know that the floor will be empty. You won't see any lacrosse action here for at least a few minutes as they tend to the matter in the Connects Arena. Thank you for your patience, and we'll see you hopefully in about 5 minutes. All right, well, thankfully that was a lot quicker than I think anyone expected. We're back here at the Joe McGinley Arena for second period action. Rebels, Crude. Crude leading 4-2. Ball goes loose off the draw. They're going to battle for it. The ball's going to be eventually picked up by the Rebs. Gathered up and sent over to Eastwood. Eastwood on the right side. They're going to blow this dead for a second. I don't really know. We'll wait for what the call is going to be. 30-second clock looks like it's out on the one side. Little bit of an electrical malfunction. So we'll pause here momentarily as they figure that out. And while we have a second, that last goal by the Crude, scored by Leung, was that he's only played, this is only his third game as the Crude were able to bring him out of retirement of sorts. One of the better kids out of the U17 program in Sherwood Park and really in the league. Should have been a high draft pick. Well, I don't think he was taken at all, and it was a pretty big pickup for the Crude to grab him. And dividends have been paid already, as you've seen tonight. Smart offensive lefty has got on the board already. They still look like they're having some issues with the shot clock here, so we'll try to hang tight here. Now it looks like it's back up. They'll test it out. Looks like we're ready to go here. And this is Eastwood with the ball. He sends it down low to Lowe. Lowe rolls off of his defender. He gets it back up to Eastwood. Eastwood swings out over to Peterson. Peterson shoots, and he goes far side on Peck. It looked like Peck didn't really track that one. Looked like it caught him a bit by surprise. Got in on him a little bit quicker than maybe he'd expected, and it's 4-3 here. Crude lead cut down to 1 with 19:29 to go in the second period. here we go with Simonson and Fry off the draw here. Simonson been very good on draws, and we've seen that with the Crude this year. They've really struggled on draws. It was one of the bigger issues against the Shamrocks, if you recall, in that game a couple of weeks ago. And the Crude are they're going to need a little bit better face-off performance right now if they want to have more possession. That shot sent wide by Peterson. Easy loose ball interference call, and the Crude will gather up, and this will be Anderson up the near boards here. And he'll flip to Fodchuk, and Fodchuk will come down the near boards. Here's Fodchuk. He swings that over. That ball gets knocked down by a Rebels defender. That ball is going to be battled for, and eventually Vetch will pick it up, but he walks right into traffic. He gets knocked down. The ball goes loose, and then the ball is sent wide by, that looked like Schaff. And Scrimshaw has a breakaway opportunity. If he would have sent the ball up the floor, he doesn't. But now he hits Baker off the bench. Good stop there by Peck. And the ball will be picked up by Slobnik, and he's going to go right through the change box of the Rebels, who eventually almost regather the ball, but now it's going to go loose into the near boards, and it's going to be picked up by the Rebels. And here's Reynaud, and he'll flip to McCallion. The tall, lanky righty will swing the ball over to Peterson. Another long outside shot. That gets handled by Peck. And now the ball goes up over the glass, and it's going to be Rebels' ball, or at least it should be here. Not really sure what the call is there. They're going to give the ball to the Crude. Rebels' bench doesn't like that, and I don't blame them. I don't know what was going on there. Anyways, here's James Leung with the ball. He sends it over to his brother Simon. Simon swings that over to Walker off the bench. He tries to get that over to Fry. That eventually does get picked up by Fry. Then Walker tried to tuck one underneath his defender. Wasn't able to. He gets called in the crease, and now the Rebels will start back out over center. Here's Albrecht. Albrecht will flip to McCallion. McCallion skips that to the far side. Peterson doesn't connect, but then Lowe picks the loose ball up in the middle of the 24. He takes a loose ball cross check. They're going to call out a penalty. And now Lowe fakes a pass and then takes a little bit of like a 2 o'clock shot off of the near post, short side post. That ball goes up over into the mesh, and we'll start back up on a 5-on-4 here with the Rebels down 4-3. 17:05 to go here in the second period. That's going to be McBride on the cross check. He'll serve 2 minutes or less. As the Rebels try to even this one up. Here's Baker. Baker to McCallion. McCallion back up to Baker. Baker to Simonson. A little bit of an exploding box there. That ball gets picked up by McCallion, though. The Rebels regather and reset on their power. Here's Simonson. Simonson swings it over to McCallion. McCallion back over to Simonson. He shoots. That's into the midsection of Peck, and he starts the fast break up to Lopez, or tries to. Obvious interference call there, and the Crude will gain possession. Here's Lopez. He tries to get it up to Schaff. He drops the ball. Schaff will battle for it. Isn't able to gain possession, and the ball's going to remain loose. And here's Albrecht. And he ends up picking the ball up. And we've seen that a couple of times in this game. Walker scored on a twister short side, and now Albrecht scores on a twister short side on a broken play. A lot of broken plays in this one so far. Sloppy lacrosse, and it's 4-4. Just looked like no one wanted that ball. And eventually Albrecht just said, well, nobody wants it, I'll take it. Ties the game up. As the Rebels have extended their shot count lead out a little bit again with a 24-14 count. And, of course, evening up the score, 4-4. Here's Eastwood. He engages his defender. That's Anderson. Anderson chopping away. No penalty, and the Crude will pick it up. Slobnik will send it up to Anderson. Anderson will speed up over center. He looks, he's got a little bit of a break here, and he swings it over to Wedman. He shoots, and the ball goes through Lukoweski. The ball goes through Lukoweski. That's a tough one, goes right through his body. It's 5-4 Crude as they get one in transition. Good push there from Anderson up the near boards. Wedman finds himself with a lot of time inside. Nobody on him, and he just basically shot the ball through Lukoweski, and it's 5-4 Crude. 15:57 to go in the second period. So still no goalie pull there, just a bit of an equipment issue. That gets sorted out, and we're back up here with the Simonson taking in an outside rip. That's handled by Peck. And he starts that fast break out to Searson. Searson on the near boards. He rolls back. And he's going to eventually flip here to Fodchuk. Fodchuk's going to wait for a pick set by Leung. He hops off of that pick, and he takes a sidearm shot, goes wide. The ball will get battled for on the right side, and Knowlton will come out with that. He swings it over to Fodchuk. Bad pass. That goes into the boards, and Albrecht will smartly just let the shot clock wind down, get a fresh 30, and we'll start back up the floor here for the Rebels. Here's McCallion. McCallion on the right side. He gets it to the wall. That's low. He swings it to Baker, who wasn't looking, and now it's a 2-on-1 for the Crude. Here's Slobnik. He's going to walk in here. The defender lets him shoot. That was Peterson. He let him shoot there. Lukoweski handles that. And now the Rebels will try to push for a little 2-on-1 of their own. They're going to get called for too many men. They're going to say they left early, and now the Crude will have possession. And this will be Nolski. Yeah, Nolski. He'll send to Knowlton. Knowlton surveys. He swings over to Fodchuk. Fodchuk gets it down low to Kerr. Kerr engages his defender. He swings. And Knowlton rips that short side. Sidearm riser. And it's 6-4 Crude. 14:25 to go here in the second period. So the Crude get one from Knowlton on a riser. Always a tough one for a goalie to handle. That release point, the ball comes up on you pretty fast, and you're usually expecting the ball to go low on a sidearm shot. That comes up high underneath the bar. Nice shot by Knowlton, and they take a 2-goal lead again. That shot sent in by Baker. Peck will handle that. He grabs the loose ball, and he starts to transition up to Wedman. Wedman will wait, and he'll get it to Knowlton. Knowlton swings it over to Leung. He goes underneath his defender. The ball bounces right back to him off of the block shot. And then the ball will bounce back out to center. Nice toe drag by Fodchuk. He shoots into the midsection of Lukoweski, and they'll call shot clock violation. Looks like a shot clock. I think it was a shot clock violation, but the Rebels will turn it over anyway, and that's Leung knocking the ball down. He's going to get checked. It's going to be an interference call, loose ball interference. It'll be Rebels ball. Here's Renault. Renault, a little bit of a swim move. He goes inside. Nice around the world take there by Lowe. That's stopped by Peck, and now there's going to be a delayed call on the Rebels. Here's Searson. He'll flip to Kerr. Crude will go 6-on-5 with Peck out of the net. Fodchuk up high. Behind the back, down low to Kerr. Kerr, he tries to he skips the ball into the middle. That's Wedman. He takes that shot. Lukoweski will gobble that up, and it's gonna be a Crude power play here with Reynaud going to the box. Oh, and he got him for 4 minutes on a check from behind, so the Crude will have 4 minutes to operate on the power play. And if you're the Rebels, again, we talked about it earlier, 53% of the goal production on the Crude is coming from Fodchuk and Knowlton. You got to think that they got to make a concerted effort on their D, out their back gate, to clamp on those guys and get up, and we've seen them with a lot of room to shoot in this game. Especially on the power play, the Rebels are going to have to push up a little higher here. Here's the Crude. Knowlton up high to Fodchuk. Fodchuk looks back up to Knowlton. He shoots again. That's going to be stopped by Lukoweski. And now Albrecht will just sort of run through his defender. Tries to hit Peterson off the bench. He drops it. Ball's going to go into the crease, and they're going to call loose ball interference on the Crude. The Rebels will gain possession. Pick set by Albrecht. And bad giveaway there by the Rebels. Just kind of threw it away to nobody. Rebels offensive guy didn't come up for the ball, and the ball just went into the boards, and now the Crude will have another fresh 30 to work with on the power play. 3 minutes still to go in that power play. 11:50 to go in the period. They lead 6-4. Here's Fodchuk. Fodchuk behind the back to Kerr. Kerr down low to Leung. Leung fakes back up to Fodchuk. He gets jumped. Good job by Vetch to get in on his hands. The ball go loose. And then Fodchuk gets it inside to Leung. Leung with the crease dive. And he scores. To make it 7-4 Crude. As they put the goal up on the wrong side of the board there. 7-4 Crude. And again, much needed production. That acquisition of Leung, big for that Crude offense. And he shows you why on that crease dive. 7-4 Crude. 11:35 to go here in the second period. And that ball's going to be picked up off the draw by Wedman. He's going to go down off on the wrong side of the floor. He'll throw that in behind the net over to Walker, who's going to wait for reinforcements. And now the Crude power play with the second half of that 4-minute power play to work with. Ball's thrown inside. That was sent into Schaff. Lukoweski with the stop, and now they're going to say back in of some kind here. It's going to be Crude ball again. 1:40 to go in the power play. 11:13 to go in the second period. Here's Knowlton down low to Walker. Knowlton. He's going to look. Fodchuk. He's going to shoot here. That ball gets sent in. Short side wide. Walker's going to pass. Going to pick up the ball here. Or he tries to. Doesn't. Not able to. And now it's going to be. They're going to say Walker reached into the cylinder. It's going to be Rebels ball. Breakaway. And that's Peterson off the bench. Slow change for the Crude. The Rebels sneak in behind it. And they capitalize shorthanded. 7-5 here. Crude lead. So for those at home are wondering what they called there, I believe they called Walker for reaching. You can't reach into the cylinder of the crease, and the crease goes up to the ceiling. So if you reach in over through the crease, they're going to call you for back in, or for crease in or entering the crease. Now the Rebels off the draw. That's Scrimshaw. He picks up the loose ball. He gets it to Albrecht. Here's McCallion. He's going to sit, and he's going to waste some time here. The double doesn't come, and he goes underneath that, and he scores short side on Peck. just a breakdown there by the Crude. The double was there to have, and they just never went, and McCallion took advantage going underneath the double that never came, and he goes short side on Peck, and it's 7-6. 10:28 to go in the second period. That double has to come, otherwise that guy's going to go underneath. And that's exactly what the vet McCallion did, and it's 7-6. And another loose ball off the draw. Crude continue to struggle with draws. And here's Simonson on the loose ball, taking hacks and whacks from Fry. Oh, it's a massive moving pick, and it's going to be Crude ball. That's Nolski. Now they're going to get the Crude for, an obvious too many men. And here are the Rebels starting back up the floor. It's Zorniak who will flip to McCallion. McCallion's going to hold. And there's the double. It almost gets there. McCallion's going to wait here now. He gets down low to Reed Low. Reed Low, wait up. Now they're even, 5-on-5. They got 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Long outside looping shot by Peterson into the midsection of Peck. And the Crude will gain possession. 9:19 to go in the second period. Crude lead 7-6. Rebels do lead on the shot clock 30-18. Here's Simon Leung with a sub shot. That goes far side wide. Ball's picked up by Knowlton. I don't know why they reset that, but they did. Here's Kurt. And he ends up just sort of walking into the middle, using his size, going short side high. 8-6 Crude. We'll ask Tech extraordinaire here, Keenan. Did you see why that was reset? Did it hit the goalie? Yeah, Keenan says he thinks it did hit the goalie. I wasn't so sure, but nevertheless, they did get the reset, and Kerr tucks inside. Sort of just walked inside. I don't really know what was going on the Rebs D on that one, but he walks inside and goes short side high, 8-6. Now the Rebels with another opportunity off of a broken play. Ball goes in to the far wall. They battle for it. And that's going to be picked up by Simonson, who will get a pick set there by Baker, but that's going to be called moving, and the Crude will set up here. Here's Slobnik for the Crude. He will walk up over the blue line, continues to walk. Now the ball will get sent over to Kerr. That doesn't connect. The ball will dribble down off the wall, picked up by Leung. Gets the ball back up top to Leung. He shoots. Then the ball will end up with Lukoweski harmlessly. That's going to hit the ceiling. You could hear it. But nothing. Ball will just end up with Peck anyway. And here's Searson for the Crude. Really, really deliberate, slow pace to this game. It's been a while seeing a game played this slowly. It's interesting. Ball gets stopped by Lukoweski. The ball's going to be picked up. Lucy will be grabbed by the Rebs. And long breakaway pass, but it doesn't connect with Scrimshaw. That's going to bounce off of Peck. And he's going to grab that loose ball. And it looks like there's going to be a penalty call here. I think they're going to even this up. They're just going to call coincidentals here. Be 4-on-4 here with 7:22 to go. 8-6 Crude lead. Here's Fodchuk, left wall. Nice little slip pick there by Leung. Ball ends up with Knowlton. Knowlton gets it over to Fry. Fry comes up top. He shoots. Stopped there by Lukoweski. And then the ball bounces inside. Leung picks that and tries to flip it over to Fodchuk. He goes and gets that loose ball. Here's Leung dipping down underneath his defender. He rolls back. And he gets it up top to Knowlton. Fodchuk thrown down to the floor. And then the ball will get picked up. Here the Rebels. They have a 3-on-1 here. There's Hackett. He sends Hackett in on a breakaway, and that gets stopped by Peck. Sorry, Lewis, not Hackett. He does get stopped by Peck, though. The Crude are going to end up in the box here with a 2-minute slashing call. And we'll go to 4-on-3 here. Rebels with the man advantage as they look to cut into this Crude lead. Here's Baker to McCallion. McCallion back to Baker. Baker down low to Peterson. Peterson back up to the left shooter, Baker. Baker waits, and then fires. That goes off of Peck up over the glass, and it'll be Rebels ball with a fresh 30. Baker to McCallion. He steps in. He shoots, and he goes short side. We've been seeing that as a common theme here, short side on Peck. Really on both goalies. And it's 8-7. Rebels cut the lead down to 1. Thank you for your patience as they try to sort out some clock issues, just to trying to remove some of the penalties off the clock. It looks like we're good to go here again. 6:24 to go here in the second period. Crude leading 8-7 here at home from the Jerome McGinley Arena in St. Albert. I want to thank everybody here for joining us here on CROW LAX TV. Your home for Junior B lacrosse here in Alberta. Specifically in the northern part of the province, as this is Zorniak off of the draw. He gets the ball low to Eastwood. Eastwood comes up high with it. He swings it over to Simonson, back to Eastwood. Eastwood over to Baker, and he shoots that. That's stopped by Peck. And then the ball is going to be picked up by Anderson, and he's going to work his way out over center. He gets hit into the boards. He bounces off of that, but the ball's going to go loose. Picked up by Nolsky, who gets over to Fodchuk, and the Crude will set up on a 4-on-4 opportunity here. Here's Fodchuk over to Kerr. He gets that to Knowlton. Another sidearm riser. That's stopped by Lukoweski. And he was met there by the big Rylan Walsh. Here's Kerr. Kerr engages his defender, the younger Albrecht. And he's going to be called for crease, and it's going to be Rebels ball here. Here's McCallion, the righty sharpshooter with the ball. He waits for the pick. He tries to go underneath. Nothing there. He'll swing it back over to Peterson. And Peterson will get a pick over on the left side by Puck. He goes underneath that, and he scores far side on Peck. And it's 8-8 here with 5:12 to go in the second period. Same side of the net. Righty's short side, lefty's far side. Same side of the net. that the Rebels have gone here. And we see ourselves tied 8-8 with 5:12 to go in the second period. Here's off the draw. A high stick's going to be called. Noski did a good job of getting to that loose ball, and he drew the call, and it's going to be pending a 6-on-5 opportunity. If the Crude don't score, they'll go to the power play here and tie game. And the ball's going to be sent inside. That's easily knocked down, and the Crude will go to a power play here. 8-8, 4:52 to go in the second period. Here's the Crude going to the power. Fodchuk gets it to the left shooter. That's Kerr. Kerr down low to Simon Leung. Leung back up to Kerr. Kerr gets it to Fodchuk. Fodchuk shoots. Looked like he was trying to get Lukoweski by surprise there. That did not work. And then the ball sent down the floor by the Rebels, really to no one. But then the speedster Longmire tries to get in on it. He's unable to. And then Peck will send up. Oh! Bit of a suicide pass, and Fodchuk got annihilated by Albrecht. They're going to call it charge here. It looks like they're going to get Albrecht for a charge. And it's going to be a 5-on-3 for the Crude. Bit of just a rough situation. You hate to see a guy put in that position. I think that's a good job by the referees there. I think that's the right call. And the Crude will look to take advantage of it. I don't really know why the Crude fans are booing here, but the right call was made, and we'll move on here. Here's Leung down on the left side. Good stop there by Lukoweski, and now here the Rebels are looking to push in transition. The Crude do a good job of getting back. They snuff that out. And now a little bit of a free hand there, as that was Reynaud trying to go inside there, trying to take really 3 guys on at one time. They call him in the crease, and it'll be Crude ball. Here's Knowlton. He'll look to direct traffic, calm things down. He has the ball up top. He'll wind. He'll get that over. Down in the left crease. Schaff there tries to step out in front. That ball goes wide, and here's Kerr picking the ball back up. Shot clock winding down. He tries to go down to Leung, who tries to go far side. That goes well wide. Shot clock's going to expire, and the Rebels will look to kill the first of these remaining 2 penalties. 24 seconds remain in the first penalty. Here's Peterson. He flips up top to Zorniak. And Zorniak will just hold here. And Zorniak will wait patiently. The double comes. He steps on the line. And here's McBride looking to go out on a breakaway. And he gets away. But that's stopped by Lukoweski. Loose ball push, and it's going to be Crude ball. Little bit of a not the smartest play there, as the Rebels are going to give the Crude a free possession here. They had a shot at that loose ball that could have killed the last 30 seconds, but nevertheless, the Crude are going to have 30 seconds here to operate 5-on-4. Here's the ball over to Kerr. Kerr backs into his defender. He swings that to the far crease. That's a good stop by Lukoweski, who slides across. Nice pass. That's almost brought in by Simonson. He would have had a breakaway. And then Peck does a good job of gathering that, and he'll get that up over to Searson, who tries to start out with it. He'll roll back. The ball is sent over to the Crude bench. And then here's the dangerous lefty Fodchuk. Fodchuk, toe drag underneath. Then he tries to crease dive, but he's called inside the crease before he took off, and that'll be Crude or Rebels ball. Here's Vetch with it. The defender will start out and get it over to McCallion. McCallion will trot over center. And McCallion swings it over to Peterson. Peterson down low to Baker. He winds and fires. Good save by Peck. Not going to beat Peck through his legs. He's very good down low. And Leung will start with it, the older Leung James. Here's Wedman. There's a lot of walking going on right now. Here's Walker. He tries to step around his check. The ball goes loose. It's gathered up by Knowlton, who tries to run across the top. They're going to call a little bit of a toss-up or a dust-up here, and there's going to be a fight. This is Walsh for the Rebels and Tyson Smith for the Crude. As they sort this one out and pick up all the equipment off the floor, we'll pause here for a second. More of a wrestling match than anything, but yeah, we'll pause here for a second and Are we gonna go to commercial? We'll stay here with you guys. The referees will sort this out. There was a little bit of chirping going on before that. Likely a scenario is probably they'll stay even. But yeah, they're gonna go 4-on-4 here. More of a takedown. Looked like some wrestling skills were had there between both combatants. And we'll pick back up here, 8-8 with 1:25 to go here in the second period. And it's going to be Baker here with the ball. Looks like they blew this in a little early. They'll start back up at center. It's actually going to be 5-on-4 here. No, 5-on-5. Well, we're even. Here's Simonson with the ball. He looks to flip that off of the pick inside to Peterson. He eventually picks the loose ball up, and he gets that back up to McCallion, who swings it down to low. He tries to go short side. That floats well high. It's going to bounce back down to Lukaweski, who's going to toss that up. That's going to go way too high, but it's going to bounce down to McCallion. Here's Lowe. He shoots. That's off the floor into the corner, and it's going to be Crude ball here. Yeah, here's Nolsky with the ball. He'll send to Fodchuk. They're going to pick up Fodchuk pretty high. A little bit of an adjustment here. Pretty smart. Ball is going to go down onto the far wall. That's going to be picked up by Reynaud. Reynaud, he's going to speed out over center. He's going to look to go to the net, and he tucks underneath his defender, gets a shot off. They're going to call a slash here on the Crude. And with 32 seconds to go here in the second period, the Rebels will go to the power play looking to take really what I think would be their first lead of the game. Shots, Rebels 37, Crude 22. And the Rebels are going to take a timeout here. And we'll be right back here on CROW LAX TV. So 32 seconds left. The Rebels will hold this. Well, they might not hold this with their goalie still in the net. They should. They should pull their goalie, but they're not. I guess not. They're 5-on-4. Yeah. You could send a guy into the middle, but here's McCallion with the ball. He gets it up top to Baker. McCallion, downloaded low. Low inside to Baker. He gets stopped by Peck. And then the ball gets picked up in the corner. And then that will do it for the second period of play. Thank you. The second period of play will end with the score. Rebels 8, Crude 8. The shots, Rebels 38, the Crude 22. And we will be back in St. Albert for third period action of RMLL Tier 1 Junior B Lacrosse. Welcome back inside the Jerome McGinley Arena here in St. Albert, where we stand with the Crude 8 and the Rebels 8. Heading into the final frame, the Rebels will start the period on the power play. 1:28 remaining left in the man advantage. And we're gonna wait for the draw here, and we look ready to go. And off the draw, the ball's gonna go loose near the Rebels bench. That's gonna bounce back into the Rebel zone. There's gonna be a push, and it's gonna be, and they're gonna call it a penalty. Yeah, it looks like they're gonna give him a penalty. It's tie game, 8-8. Tough one to take. With a power play and an opportunity to take the lead, that's a tough one to take. So we'll go to 4-on-4 lacrosse. Yeah, 4-on-4 lacrosse here. 19:52 to go in the third period. There's Fawchuk, swings it over to Fry. Fry will hop up over across the top. He swings that to Fawchuk. He winds it and fires that wide. The ball gets dished inside to Kerr, and he loses that. And the ball will be battled for. That's Vetch along on the ball on the wall, and he gets draws an interference call, and it's going to be Rebels ball. Here's Baker, and he'll jog up over center, and the pick will eventually get set by Puck. Baker will stand and fire from up top. That will go wide. He claims it went off a Crude defender, but the refs say otherwise. It'll be Crude ball. Here's Fry with it. Fry will get it to Walker. Back up to Fry. Back to Walker. He winds and fires a sidearm shot. That goes off of Lukoweski's midsection, bounces to center. Ball will be picked up by Fry. Fry gets it to Walker. 20 seconds still on the shot clock. And there's Wedman. Wedman runs into two defenders. The ball will go loose. And then that's picked up by Fawchuk. He smartly bounces that off of Lukoweski's foot. Tries to get the reset. Will the Crude be able... Oh, he doesn't pick it up, and the Rebels will... He just knocks it back, and the Rebels will end up with the ball here. Fawchuk with the right idea, trying to get the reset, but the Crude weren't on the same page there and didn't pick the ball back up. Here's Peterson with it. Peterson stops up on the near boards. He swings it slowly over to McCallion. He hops down the right wall, goes underneath his defender. Lopez will push him down into the corner. He still has it. Fakes a pass inside, steps up top. He shoots. And that gets handled easily by Peck, and then the Crude will handle the ball up over center, and Slobnik will start out with it. Here's Knowlton. Knowlton swings it over to Fawchuk. Fawchuk down low to Kerr. Kerr up to Fawchuk. Little bit of time here remaining in the Crude power play. $1:45. In fact, they gave him a 4-minute penalty. Actually thought it was just 2. It's 4. That's why there's so much time remaining in it. Now the ball will just get flung up over into the Rebels bench, and it's going to be Rebels ball. Here's Lowe. He hops up over center, and he gets it to McCallion. McCallion stops up. He waits for a pick, none coming. And he'll just take his defender, beats Fry, and he shoots and scores! Gets to the 24-foot. He shoots that a sidearm, low, short side. And the Rebels will take a 9-8 lead. Really strange sequence there after the goal. McCallion gets pushed all the way into the glass. Doesn't look like there's going to be a call, though. I don't know what that was, but we'll continue on. 9-8 Rebels. As these two teams continue to go back and forth. It's really been a one or two goal spread all game long here. There's also short-handed. McCallion with the tally. And off the draw here, the Crude look to pick this up, but now the ball bounces out back, and there's Eastwood. Big stop by Peck. Huge stop by Peck with the Rebels threatening to take a 2-goal lead. Yeah, that's probably an over and back call. The refs don't get it. And Wedman will pick the ball up anyway for the Crude. And then the ball will be picked up by the Rebels. That's Hackett. Hackett will run through a stick check. He takes a couple of whacks and he rolls out. Then it hits low off the bench, and that gets stopped by Peck. They call him inside the crease anyway, and it'll be Crude ball. And Leung will flip that up over center to Knowlton, and the Crude with 22 seconds remaining in the power will try to even this one up. Here's Knowlton. They got to be wary of Albrecht coming out of the gate or out of the box here. Nice behind the back pass to Fodchuk. Fodchuk gets Kerr. Kerr's shot's blocked. And here the Rebels out on a 2-on-1. That ball is taken inside the crease. And Peck will just flip that to Fodchuk, and they're going to be even here with 15:50 to go. 9-8, the Crude trail the Rebels. Here's Knowlton. He gets it down low to Frey. To Fry. Fry will come back up top with it. Kerr takes two defenders on. They push him into the corner. He throws that into the floor. It's going to be Rebel ball here. Frustrated Fodchuk runs to the bench. And then the Rebels throw it away. Sloppy lacrosse here. And Albrecht, good hustle, goes into the corner, picks that up. And then he'll roll that out to center, and Peterson will gather it. McCallion swings that over to Albrecht. Albrecht takes his defender on. He's held there. They don't call it. And then Baker with a little bit of a dip, and he dipped to the far side, came back to the short side, and deposited behind Peck. And it's the Rebels taking a 10-8 lead, and it looks like the Crude are going to be taking a penalty as well. Going to be Blake here, maybe offsetting penalties with Albrecht again. So as we sort these penalties out, it is the Rebels leading the Crude now 10-8. Nice little far side dip and dunk from Baker. Far side, short side move, 10-8. Rebels lead the Crude. Looks like they're giving them both 2 minutes. They're going to play 4-on-4 here. Shots sitting 41 for the Rebels, 23 for the Crude. We look good to go here. And off the draw, Scrimshaw will gather. The Rebels will set up here on offense. Here's McCallion with it. And the dangerous righty will hop up off that pick. He swings it over to Simonson. Simonson gets it up over to Eastwood. The two rookies go to work here on the offensive possession here for the Rebels. Eastwood gets it over to Simonson. He tries to quick stick it short side. That doesn't go. And then Eastwood goes after the loose ball and then gets cranked in the corner. He gives it back. It'll be Crude ball. And Wedman will start up for the Crude. Here's Wedman. He comes up over center. He gets the ball up high. There's Fodchuk going underneath. Nice flip pass inside. He tried to flip that inside to Leung, and he gets taken out into the net. And it's going to be Rebel ball. They're going to call Leung for being inside the crease. It's going to be Vetch with it. And here's Puck with the ball on the left side. He flips up to Baker. Baker swings it over to McCallion. McCallion gets it down low to Reed. Reed low. Reed low tries to swim his guy. Good defense there by Lopez, I believe that is. And then the shot's taken by McCallion. That goes wide. McCallion gets it back. He sends it over to Lowe, who sends that wide again. Good defensive possession there by the Crude 4-on-4. And they'll regain possession here with 13:38 to go. 10-8, they trail. Here's Knowlton with it. He winds and fires. And that goes, I think, off the post, far side. They get a reset here, and Peck will grab that, flip that up top, flip that down to Kerr, who will come up over center. And he gets it to Knowlton. Knowlton gets it down low to Walker. Walker tries to flip it back up to Knowlton. That doesn't connect. Knowlton. He swings it over to Fodchuk on the skip pass, and he quick sticks that in. 10-9. The Rebels lead cut down to 1. So, unsurprisingly, it's Fodchuk from Knowlton, and it's 10-9 Rebels with 12:55 to go here in the third period. Here's Peterson, takes another sub shot. That gets handled by Peck, and the ball will go into the corner and picked up by Slobnek momentarily. He loses it, gathers it back up, and then he'll run back up over center here. They got 2-on-1 here. Here's Fodchuk. He hits Anderson. Oh, he tries to hit Anderson in front. The ball does not get into his possession before he tries to get it on net, and now Knowlton will settle. Here's Knowlton. He swings it over to Fodchuk. Fodchuk up top to Schaff. Schaff rolls around his defender. He's met by a second check there by Hackett. And Hackett will break out here. And the ball is not gathered by the Rebels and eventually picked up by McBride. The captain will head out over center and set up for the Crude. Here's Knowlton with it. And Knowlton will stop up. And Kerr deposits it behind Lukoweski. Another broken play. We've seen a lot of broken plays here tonight. And Kerr just sort of boxed his defender out as he grabbed the ball, loose ball in the middle, and shot it low. I think it went 5-hole. And it's 10-10. Nobody able to gain separation here. The Crude now with 10 goals on 25 shots. And off the draw, and infractions called on the Crude. I think maybe they stepped in early. And it's going to be the Rebels with possession. Here's Peterson. He swings it to McCallion. He dodges underneath his defender, and he goes short side again. And it's 11-10 for the Rebels. McCallion hasn't changed up his delivery on his shots. He just hasn't had to. Short side, 11-10, Rebels lead with 11:26 to go here in the third period. And off the draw, another infractions called on the Crude, and it's going to be the Rebels' ball. McCallion, Peterson, Baker. Baker shoots. That's handled easily by Peck. And he's going to eventually hit Anderson in the corner. Bench side, and he's going to run out and look for somebody. And eventually Simon Leung becomes available, and then he gets it low to Fodchuk. Fodchuk dances down underneath. He goes around the net. And Vetch eventually is able to knock the ball loose as Fodchuk sort of slid down. And now Vetch will maneuver his way out over center. And here are the Rebels on offense as they look to try and gain a more than a 1-goal lead here with 10:30 to go in the third period. Here's Eastwood. Eastwood waits for a pick, none coming. He'll swing it up top to Simonson. Simonson waits. That shot gets blocked, and Slobnik will gather, and he'll try to run around a late charging Baker who hustles back. He pushes him to his wrong side, and Slobnik sort of switched hands and got a shot off. That's fought off by Lukaweski. And now the Rebels will start back with Simonson gathering back. Here's Simonson with the ball. He shoots softly into Peck. But good job by McCallion to go get that loose ball. Ball's tossed up top to Peterson. That's handled again. And good job there by Eastwood to gather another loose ball. Oh, nice look by Simonson into a rolling puck, but it doesn't connect. And now Nolski with the loose ball. He gets back up off the floor and will settle it down for the Crude. And here's Walker with it. Walker up top to Knowlton. Knowlton will swing it over to Fodchuk. Fodchuk. Bad angle shot there. Taken, stopped by Lukaweski. And now Zorniak will jog up over center. He gets it. The ball gets over and tossed cross crease to Baker, who ran out of real estate there. Called inside the crease before the ball was released, and now McBride will hand off to Schaff. Schaff comes down the near wall. He swings it to Kerr. Longmire gets in on his hand, switches off, takes his man inside, and then the ball ends up getting shot up high off the right side. And now Lukaweski will walk the ball out. And the Rebels will work their way out of the zone. And harassed there, but able to maintain possession are the Rebels. Peterson just hucks one short side wide. And then with the shot clock winding down, Eastwood tries to get one on net to no avail, and now it'll be Crude ball with 8 minutes to go. Rebels 11, Crude 10. Shot sitting at Rebels 44, Crude 28. Now the play's going to be blown dead. I don't know, maybe goalie's water? I don't know what's going on here. Some type of stoppage. Looks like goalie water. 'Cause nobody called a timeout. There's no penalty coming. And again, the Rebels come into the game 4-1, looking to go to 5-1. Crude come in at 500, 3-3, looking to improve to 4-3. As this game sits in the balance with 7:57 to go here, 11-10, Rebels lead. It'll be Crude possession off of the officials' timeout. And it'll be Regan Walker with it up high. He gets it to Kerr, pick set. Fodchuk, a little bit of a slip pick there by Fodchuk. Fodchuk gets it up top to Knowlton. He gets knocked down as he tries to shoot. And now there's a breakaway opportunity for Lewis, who comes in, and he gets stopped by Peck, who stands his ground. And then the ball's sent into the middle way too high. The ball's going to be picked up by Lopez, but he's met by a couple of Rebels, and then Albrecht pulls that out and shoots it. Ball's blocked, and he does a good job of getting that loose ball, but he tosses it into the bench. And it's going to be Crude ball. Here's Schaff. There's 2 balls on the floor. Fodchuk and Schaff have the ball. And it will be Schaff with the ball. Schaff swings it over to Leung. Leung ducks inside his man underneath. And there's going to be a delayed call. At least a cross check. It'll be a 2-minute or a 4-minute. Could be a cross check, could be a CFB. We'll wait the call. Here's Knowlton winding and firing. That goes through Lukoweski and bounces up over top. Doesn't go in the net. Now they're going to debate whether this is a 2 cross check or a 4 check from behind. Looks like he's giving him he gave him a cross check, so it'll be a 2-minute call. And the Crude will have the opportunity to knot this one up with 6:49 to go in the 3rd period. In a really quiet Ainsdale or Jerome McGinley Arena. Here's Leung. Leung up top to Fodchuk. Fodchuk down low to Leung. Leung swings it over to Knowlton. Knowlton just buries that into Lukoweski's breadbasket. And now Longmire will set up over center. Here's Longmire. Knowing he has to kill, will roll back nicely and get it back up to Baker. Baker slows it down once again. And he'll be met there by Fry. Ball will just bounce right back to Baker. He shoots. That'll go off of a Crude defender. It'll be picked up by McBride, and McBride will settle that down. Game will slow down once again. Here's Fodchuk. Here's Fodchuk up high. He'll slide over to the shooter. But he's going to have to go up top because they're lefty strong. Fodchuk ends up taking a shot from well out. Then the ball's picked up off the rebound and shot in the short side. Another broken play. 11-11. So that's been a common theme again here tonight, is a lot of broken plays, balls off the end boards getting picked up and thrown in the net. And now Peterson with a crease dive. They're going to say that his foot was inside the crease. Here's Knowlton. And he'll get it to Fry. He'll look. Wants to swing it. Nobody there. Now he'll swing it. Fodchuk off the half wall. He winds and fires. That's wide. Another ball off the boards. Lukoweski didn't pick that up, but the Rebels were able to collapse on that just in time. Another long outside shot. Now Peterson's going to take off, but good job by Leung to get off the floor quick and Crude. But now Peterson goes inside his defender. Oh, they don't call a potential hold there, and now it's Crude ball. Now Frey's going to step inside the crease, but they're going to say that Lukoweski pushed him and give the Crude the ball. Bit undisciplined there by Lukoweski. Would have just been a crease violation, and they would have had the ball, but he gave the Crude the ball here. Here is Fodchuk winding twister, and that's handled by Lukoweski. And Lewis is going to send this up for Longmire. That's off glass. Longmire will track that down, slow it down for the Rebels. And here's Puck. Puck will hop down the near side boards. And he gets to McCallion. McCallion to Low. Low will look, survey. He goes underneath his defender. He'll roll back out. And a nice swing pass to Baker. And Baker tried to quick stick that back door, but that was both handled by Peck and called somehow inside the crease. I'm not sure that was, but we play on. McBride. McBride will flip that to Knowlton. Knowlton will walk down the wall. He swings that to Fodchuk. Fodchuk down low to Leung. He tries to get that inside. It's knocked down by a good stick. 88 hasn't been listed anywhere on any of our sheets here, so apologize for you not being able to tell you who that is. He's actually had a pretty good game in transition for the Rebels. So whoever that is, good job by you, my friend. Here's Simonson. Simonson gets it over to McCallion. McCallion down low to Reed Low. Low looks, winds and fires. That's going to go wide, but there's a delayed call on the Crude here. And the Rebels are going to have a power play with 3:28 to go in the third period. 11-11 the score. It's going to be Blake back into the sin bin for the Crude. 2-minute cross check, another cross check. We've seen a few of those here tonight. 11-11. Here's Baker. Baker up top. Down low. Reed Low tried to get Peck off the post there. Peck, good job shutting that down. The ball is going to be sent inside. Ball's going to bounce into the corner. Picked up by Wedman. Wedman picks it up. Ball's going to be swung down low. There's Wedman. He tries to bully his way out in front. That doesn't work. He steps inside the crease. Here's Simonson with it. He will make his way into the Crude end. Here's McCallion. McCallion up top to Baker. Baker over to Simonson. Baker over to McCallion. McCallion low inside to Baker. That does not get there. Then Peterson picks up the garbage in front. Ball bounces slowly out over center. It's going to be a shot clock violation. A little too complacent. Power play there for the Rebels. Everything was just in slow motion. And now there's going to be a cross-checking call. Yeah, it looks like a cross. Delay a game. Delay a game on the Rebels. And they're going to be even now. And then the Crude will have a power for the last minute, basically the last minute of the game. Here's Fodchuk over to Kerr to Knowlton. Fodchuk. Knowlton, he's going to want to shoot here. Good step up. There's Fodchuk. Fodchuk works his way down low. No look pass inside. That goes wide. Nice dish by Fodchuk. Hits the dangerous Knowlton who sent that wide, but he gets the loose ball. He comes in across the top. He winds and fires. Good stop there by Lukoweski. Good loose ball by Knowlton. And then a shot there is taken by Walker. Catches the foot of Lukoweski, and now Kerr will gather. Kerr, fresh shot clock for the Crude. And Knowlton tries to skip that to Fodchuk. Then it's overrun by Scrimshaw, and the Crude will gain possession back. Loose balls. Rebels have really struggled on loose balls. It's cost them a lot of goals in this game. Will it cost them here with the game on the line? 11-11. Another opportunity to gather a loose ball. Here's Knowlton. He shoots. And that gets stopped by Lukoweski. And then Walker with a nice loose ball in the corner. Knowlton over to Fodchuk. Fodchuk behind the back to Leung. Leung up to Fodchuk. Leung shoots. And that's stopped by Lukoweski. 1 minute to go. 11-11. Rebels, Crude. Shots 46-32 Rebels. We're basically in next goal wins territory here as the Rebels look to dangerously walk the line here. Short-handed. They can't cross. They can't go back over center. And somehow Reynaud is able to get across the top. Shoot. That goes well wide, and then the ball ends up in Lopez's in the Crude's possession. They'll call a timeout. Couple extra seconds ran off the clock. Should be 37 seconds here. It'll be Crude ball here. Not quite last possession. And of course, a couple extra seconds here make a big difference, because if you don't get a reset, there's going to be a little bit of time left, and 7 seconds is enough time to make a couple passes and get a shot off in transition. Off the timeout, we'll see what the Crude come up with. Highly doubt they pull the goalie with the 38. You probably do it with 32, 33. You don't do it with 38. Too much time. And they also have a power still, so even less of a reason to pull the goalie here. Looks like they are going to pull the goalie. So they are going to go 6-on-4. I don't know about this. Gutsy, man. Gutsy pull. If this ball turns over, this could be in your net. 11-11, 28 seconds to go. 6-on-4, net empty. See if this pays off for the Crude, or will it come back to haunt them, or neither. Here's the swing pass. Shot's taken. Ball goes to the wall. Ball's loose. And the Rebels call a timeout with the net empty. Ah, man, I don't know. The Rebels could have transitioned there with the net empty. Some questionable goings on here in Ainsdale, formerly Ainsdale Arena. I don't know what's going on, but we're probably headed to overtime now, but we'll see. The net was empty, and they called a timeout. I don't know, guys. I don't know what to tell you. What the... Will that come back to haunt the Rebels? We'll see. Now they pull their goalie with 10 seconds to go. Here's McCallion. He swings it over to Peterson. He's going to shoot. He takes that shot that goes off of Peck. He handles that. And we are going to overtime with the score Rebs 11, Crude 11. With probably the biggest rivalry in the North. We're going to get extra lacrosse here from the Jerome McGinley Complex in St. Albert. It is sudden death overtime. Play a 10-minute period, and I believe 5. It is now a 5-minute period, and I believe it's a tie if nobody scores. Yeah, it is a tie if nobody scores. We'll see what transpires here, and we'll be back with you in just a second. And we kick off the overtime here with a draw. Wedman and Simonson, they battle. And here's Albrecht with it. He loose ball, he hits Peterson down low. He spins back. Ball gets tossed back up. Here's McCallion, he winds and fires. Sub shot, and misses. Quick stick, and it's in the net. Simonson, the rookie, wins it for the Rebels. And they take it 12-11 in overtime. Tough loss for the Crude as they answered back with a couple of late goals, tied the game. Both teams with opportunities to win it late. Goes to overtime. Cross floor pass, and Simonson with the quick stick makes no mistake. And that makes your final score. Fort Saskatchewan Rebels 12, St. Albert Crude 11. The St. Albert Crude drop to 3-4 and the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels go to 5-1. We thank you for joining us here from the Jerome McGinley Arena in St. Albert, and we can't wait to be with you again. For Mohammed and my broadcast partner, Keenan, we thank you again, and so long from St. Albert.